And welcome back to the PouncerAI Freelancer Education Series. I'm Jerod Morris here with Sean Jackson, the founder and CEO of Pouncer. And Sean, we have finished the beginners section of the PouncerAI Freelancer Education Series, and it's time now to get into the intermediate section where we're really going to talk about how folks can optimize their proposal process. We ended the beginner series talking about how to compete for jobs, and the importance of competing for jobs. And this, what we're going to talk about here in the intermediate series, is really going to help people get a leg up to get the jobs that they want. And we're going to start with advanced proposal techniques. And I want to open with this question, Sean. What separates good proposals from great ones? Because that's what we really want to try and help people do. Make those great proposals that make it really hard for folks to say no when they come across it.
Yeah. Difference between a good proposal and great proposal is a great proposal is proposals that get clients to contact you.
Yeah.
So
how do we create
a proposal gets them to read it, and a great one gets them to contact you. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't care how good you think it is. If they're not messaging you on Upwork, it is not a great proposal.
Yep. So let's break it down. What are some of the steps? What are some of the components that take a proposal from good to great, that make it stand out?
Yeah, I'm going to give a high level first, and we're going to get into some details. But generally speaking, there's about 6 elements that any proposal or cover letter for any job you're applying to needs to have in there. Okay, and we're going to walk through this. But at a high level is strong introduction. You need an introduction that grabs their attention very quickly. The second thing is your authority. What makes you unique and special for the job you're applying to? Okay, that's also very, very important. Number 3, you need to engage with them. You need to give them something that engages them, that gets them thinking about you. Next, number 4 is call to action, which is very, very simple. Message me on Upwork. And then the last 2 are pretty basic. A signature line. I mean, you do want to make it personalized for you. And then the very last thing, number 6, is related work. Number 6 actually is one I think a lot of freelancers leave off, and actually sometimes is way more important than you think, even though it's at the end of it. So at a high level, introduction, show your authority, engage with them, give them a call to action, put a signature line in there, and then include related work. That's the essential structure of powerful proposal templates or proposals in general.
Can I ask you to unpack number 3 a little bit? Engage with them. What exactly do you mean? Let's do this.
Let's not play around, Jerod. Come on. Let's get into it. All right. I'm going to show you how to put this whole thing together. Okay. All right. So what you see on the screen here before you is this is the Pouncer Chrome extension, and this is the job monitoring system that we've built for you. So you can come in and see a job. Now, anyone who knows us knows that we're big mobile app developers. We work in React Native, and this particular job just came up actually while we were here on the call. It is develop a health and fitness app, something we have done in the past. Now, I think this has so much goodness in it, Jerod. I love this one. Okay, here's why. First off, there is a lot in this, which is good. This to me shows that this client actually has an idea that they want transferred in an app. They talk about an NDA, not a big deal. They give you kind of their vision of how it's going to come into. And this is the one thing that when I saw this, it made me jump with joy. Final note, this project is not $1,000 budget. This goes back to what I tell everyone. Do not worry about what the client budget is, because this clearly is an app that will not cost $1,000, but yet what do they put in the budget? $1,000. Okay. So this to me is just a juicy, wonderful project that I would want to bid on. So now let's go in and apply with PouncerAI. And what's happening is that by default, let's just go through. This is the first time you see this thing. I'm going to go into the proposal template. We do have different proposal templates for you. So when you first come into this, what you'll see is these are some samples that we've created using that framework that I just talked about. So if you don't want to actually build one yourself, just pick one of these because they all share those similar characteristics. But I don't want to do that. I want to go in and build my own template from scratch. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one as my first template. And we're going to use this as a starting point for our discussion. So we talked about the first element, which is introduction. You'll notice that in our Pouncer system, we actually have this little AI tool. These are AI prompts. And you'll see that the first things that we give you are 4 different introductory lines. Now, the introduction is more important than you think it is, okay? Because in Upwork, it's the first couple of lines people see, all right? So when I'm looking at this, what I want to be able to do is I'm going to think, how do I create up something that really gets their attention, okay? So I'll select a bold statement. What's a bold statement? Hey, I can build this thing for you because I have the experience, okay? So let's just take a look at, what AI thinks is a bold statement about this particular job. Let me turn on my light right here. There we go. Okay. So this is a strong opening sentence. I am the perfect fit for this project because I specialize in React Native and have a proven track record of delivering fitness-focused apps like Olympus AI, which integrates with Bluetooth and advanced my expertise in AI-driven solutions, smartwatch integration, and process tracking ensures your app will exceed expectations. That is a strong opening. Yeah. Notice how fast that was? Notice how key things are bold, okay? I want to stand out. My intro line has got to stand out, right? Perfect
fit. And it
fit.
pulled that example from your own history.
That's right.
Your own work history. Yeah.
That's right. All from this little line right there. Write 2 sentences that make a bold benefit claim on why I'm the perfect fit for this job. And that's what it came up with. That's pretty bold, isn't it?
That is. That is a strong opening.
That's a strong opening. Okay. Now, I've got a strong opening. Now I need to establish my authority. Well, who is this guy? Okay. So in this case, we can again go back to AI, or we could just write it ourselves. We could just say, my name is Daniel and I am, whatever. I could write in kind of my standard bio line if you wanted to do that. Or we'll just let AI do that again. So let's just come into AI and we'll say, okay, now here's about me. Okay. Provide an introduction or talk about my skills and experience or a quick overview. So let's just say I want to put an overview, write 2 sentences that provide an overview and how they relate to the needs of the client. So let's go take a look at what that looks like now. Okay. So I specialize in building cross-platform health apps. Okay. Maybe I want to augment that. Maybe I just want to say, my name is Daniel and I specialize in building cross the apps using React Native. Okay. Or maybe I don't like that. Maybe I want something different. Not a problem. Let's go back in and we'll pick another one. Instead of that, I just want to talk about my skills and experience. And I can do that as well. So as you see in here, I can continue to refine it down, or I can just go in and create a bold, statement about myself to say, okay, I want to say, here, this is something bold about me. Okay. Hi, I'm Daniel, right? With proven track record that engages users and drive results. Very clear to the point. The whole thing about this is what you want in your authority statement is what makes you unique and different. And you can even write it yourself. So how about this, Jerod? Let me go back to it. Let's go back in. See, we just click back on generate and get back to where we were. There we go. Let me write this one. Write a sentence, right? Yeah, how about this? Write 2 sentences that introduce me to the client and why I am the perfect freelancer to build their app. Okay, let's try that one.
Okay.
Let's see what happens on that one. Hi, I'm Daniel, 10 years experience. With my expertise and proven track record, I'm ready to bring your vision to life. How's that one?
Pretty good.
So now we've got an authority, right? Because remember, the other thing we want is we don't want to burden the reader with way too much information, okay? Just get to the point, I have 10 years experience. I do this all the time. I can do it. All right, that's number 2. Spend a lot of time on it. Number 3 is actually easier, which is what you ask about, okay?
Yeah.
Now, in this case, let's go back to what this job description is. It was a long job description. They had a lot of things in here, okay?
Yeah.
Here is my favorite way to engage the client. You ready? I have some questions about your project. I'm just going to type that in, okay? And then I'm going to make this bold, okay? Because I really want this to stand out. Now I'm going to go back into AI and I'm going to have AI ask questions. Create a list of 2 to 4 questions I would ask about this project. Let's go take a look at that sucker. Okay. So now I have some questions about your project. What's specific? What are the preferred APIs? Do you have any design mockups? What is the expected timeline for the initial launch? That's engagement, Jerod. I am the perfect fit for this job. Here's who I am. Now my engagement. I have questions. I think if you really go back onto, what people complain about on Upwork as clients, freelancers don't read my job. Well, how do you show the client that you read the job? You ask questions. Let AI ask the right questions for you. Okay.
Okay. Now I do have to point out the irony of the fact that, we didn't read the job. We had AI do it. But what's important to know is the AI, these questions are suggested questions.
Yeah.
So if the questions don't make sense, if you wouldn't actually ask that question, you could just delete it and remove it.
That's right.
And it is a good idea to read the proposal and make sure that the questions match. And if you have a question of your own. So this is making it more efficient. But that doesn't mean that you're just outsourcing everything. It's just making it more efficient to get the information there, but it still has to pass through your filter before you send it on to the client.
AI may be the writer, but you are the editor.
Right.
Exactly. And so I think, when I looked at this job, I actually didn't read it. I mean, I would literally apply to this job because I look at it. I know practically what they're going to want because we just have experience in this, right? So I'm pretty sure that I know what they want and I can just come into this and, I just want to get their attention. I have built an app exactly like what you're looking for. That's going to get a client's attention. I'm experienced. I have 10 years of doing this, right? That's going to get their attention. I have questions. That's going to get them engaged. I can't tell you how many times I've sent a proposal with questions that I didn't even know what the questions were. I had to go back and read my original cover letter that people were actually answering. Okay. And the reason that they came back and answered me is because the next thing I want is a call to action, right?
Yes.
I need the call to action. I need someone to communicate with me. So message me on Upwork Day and let's bring your fitness vision to life, right? You could even augment this. You can just type it in, I could say, let's go this. Please message me on Upwork, right? And I can just make this bold. And I can just go in and click bold. And now we have that in there. And so now I'm breaking up. Good copywriting, Jerod. We want to break this up. I have some questions. Please message me. Okay. Yep. I'm ready to bring it to life. Now we put in number 5 in here, my signature. Now I could just type it in if I want, but I can also let AI just write it out there. So now we come in and now, because our system knows who you are, there's my signature line. Okay. But we're not done yet. What we have done so far is we've created an engaging introduction. We have built our authority. I probably would work on this. In fact, I would probably use canned text for this, to be honest, because I want this to be very specifically worded, and I don't want to trust AI to come up with. I want it to be specific. Questions, I have no problem letting AI do, and I certainly have no problem writing a canned, hey, please contact me so we can discuss your questions. All right. So what we're doing is we're interleaving AI and text together to make a unique template so that we can quickly get to the point. I'm awesome. Here's why. I have some engagement questions for you. Contact me on Upwork. Here's who I am. Okay. But here's the last piece, Jerod. And too many times I see people forget this. The 6th thing, you do want to put in related work. Now, there's a couple of ways to do related work. So in this case, I'm just going to put in an arbitrary line in here, and I'm just going to type in the word related projects, okay? Or you could even say, my portfolio, okay? Let's say we want to call it that, all right? And again, because I love bold, I want it to stand out, I'm going to make that bold. But here, I'm going to go let AI go pick a list of projects that match what they're doing. So I'm just going to head and put this list together, and I'll say, review the job and find the one that closely aligns with the client's need. And then boom, generate the proposal and have this at the line right below it. Okay. Maybe I want this to be a little different. Maybe I don't want a summation. Maybe I actually just want list after list. Okay. Let's have AI go create up my project as a list. And now here's my related projects. Okay. Boom. There's my portfolio pieces. The first one, this one right there, health and fitness, outdoor activity. We have over 25 apps we've built, and to pick the 3 closest ones to match this description.
Pretty good.
Now, I'll give you one other trick. Let's say you are new, okay? Let's say that you may not have a lot of projects out there. Mm-hmm. Here's what you can do instead. You can end this with a testimonial, okay?
Okay.
Working with Daniel was the best decision we ever made for our fitness app. Okay. Signed Eduardo, who was actually the client. Okay. Mm-hmm. That structure, including proof. So why do we put it at the end? Well, Jerod, you know the value of the PS line, PS, right?
Yeah.
Most people will read it. It's the same that's true here, because if I've read through everything that you said, I'm at the very end of it and I see a project exactly like what I need. I see a testimonial that is from someone that is raving about you. In other words, I'm giving proof to all the claims I made, literally at the end of it. And to me, that's something people leave off too often. They assume people will go view your profile, that they'll go look at your report. They'll do their own homework. Don't make them think. Grab their attention up front. Get them to be excited, right? This guy, he's obviously experienced. He read my thing. Oh my gosh, Jerod, he read my project. Please message me. Here's who he is. And then boom, right down there, I have all my related projects available to him. Mm-hmm. That's how you craft an engaging proposal. And if you don't know how to do it, well, we're going to give you templates. Everything from asking questions, the one that I just built with you together, a basic one, maybe short and simple. Sometimes these jobs are just like, just get to the point, you know? Yeah. Or maybe I need to do a detailed estimate for this project. In fact, we built into this a whole way of AI prompts to analyze a job to give you a milestone-based pricing estimate for you to send to the client. All of those things and more are inside of the template system, because 95% of the jobs out there will use one of these templates. It's just that simple.
Wow. That's great. Great advice on the proposal process. And that really shows the power of Pouncer, and I mean, how it really guides you through this entire process to create a great proposal that will stand out and not just be good, but be great.
That's right. And the great is people contacting you. A great proposal gets them to message you. A great proposal gets them answering those questions that you let AI come back with. Good proposals get open. Great proposals get you messages.
Which, yeah, and I guess that's the way that people can know. I mean, if you're not getting a lot of replies and a lot of responses to your proposals, you may be in that good zone. And it may be time now to figure out which tweaks here, which of those maybe 6 components that you talked about needs to be added or needs to be tweaked to take it from good to great, so that you can not just get it opened, but get responses and actually get business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
So I think at the end of the day, I hope the structure gives you something. You don't have to be verbose, by the way. I think, in kind of a closing thought on this, I think too many times, one, people are copying and pasting things so they don't sound natural, or they let ChatGPT try to write the whole thing, which is it fails every single time. Okay. What we think of is what's a good framework to get people's attention, to get them engaged, to get them to communicate with you, and proves that you can do the work. So this basic structure, strong intro, prove your authority, engage with them somehow. Here's my skills. Here's my availability. Here's my portfolio. Here's my questions. Contact me. Call me. My signature line. I want to know that a real person did this. It's just a little professionalism. And then the last thing, social proof, testimonials, projects that I've done successfully that match yours. Just that little addition at the end of your cover letter, it makes a huge difference, because now they can believe that you're real and you're spotlighting things that is relevant to them.
Yeah, that's great. That is great. Well, we are rolling here in the intermediate section of the PouncerAI Freelancer Education Series. Join us for the second lesson in the intermediate section, where we're going to talk about strategic job selection, how to find and select the best jobs for you. That is coming up next. We'll talk to you soon.